I like Shopify to the downside below 75.
It'd be like that. I have no clue.
Uh, I mean, I'm overall market, but I always try to find at least like one or two berries just in case we go the opposite direction. I can be prepared for it with another stock. Like Shopify, all clone like crazy bearish for some reason. Like they're not ripping, but I like not Qualcomm and say not
Mm.
Qualcomm, Twilio, that bearish. But I like Shopify the best to the downside below 75. It goes down to 72. Strikes aren't too expensive either. I was looking at some next week strikes. I think I'm looking at the 72 strike. AK Flight just made 20 bands in a day casually, man. It's crazy, man. Wolf of Wall Street. No reason.
Bro, I was asleep all day.
If I
Sometimes
was
when
at,
you just stick to your original plan, it just works out.
yeah, just casually wakes up with 20 grand, nothing too crazy, and didn't lose any sleep, literally.
The last past week, I've been buying monthly, so I'm all the way out to April.
Oh yeah, man, I like Meta 500 calls, man. I really do.
I was looking at Meta this morning.
Yeah, man, it looks mad bullish, man. The daily, the weekly, man. I mean, I know it. I know they want 500 for it.
Mm-hmm.
This chart's beautiful. I think 500 call next week got crazy. Oh, let me double check it right there. I've been scanning it all week. Just 500 call. I like it. I like Amazon too. I'm so bullish on so many stocks. My brain just tells me to
I
go
think
find some.
Amazon is about to hit its 52-week high.
Yeah, like you see that weekly setup on it, bro. Like it's like mad consolidation, not mad, but it's just like it's like gearing up to explode. Like it's going
Normally,
crazy.
I'm all analytical, but it's the fact of what's happening in the economy that's going to push Amazon even higher.
Yeah, and Amazon weekly chart looks beautiful.
I don't know if y'all look on there to buy stuff, but everything's like mad cheap.
But yeah,
And they got added to the Dow.
oh yeah, I saw that. Hey, yeah, Amazon can go. This is 178. It breaks 178. You can go back to all time highs. All time high was 188. It may want Amazon to go to 200.
Do you know if it's already in the Dow or is there a date?
Hold on, what did you say?
Do you know if it's already in the Dow?
OptionsKing had posted it. I can't remember where he posted it at. I think it didn't say the day. He just said that it was going to go to. It didn't say the date on it. I don't feel like
You
it's on
figure that
Amazon.
out.
I think at Amazon like 200 strike. I'm gonna get the 200 strike for like what is it? I'm gonna go to like April 5th. Let me see. I'm gonna see one for 200. It's $1.14. That ain't bad. And I got no open interest on it. That's horrible. April 19th. 200 strike. The 200 strike for April 19th got 9,000 open interest on the $1. I'd buy that and just chill. And I like this. I'm gonna add this to my watch. Yo, I think Tim, you had mentioned what did you mention? McDonald's. The McDonald's had Rip. I had looked at that too. I think you had mentioned it. I think it was you who mentioned it. And I was like, oh yeah, I've been watching McDonald's above like 290. What was it? Yeah, I was watching above like 294. But I saw it got above it today. Look at the weekly chart. Yeah, it's making higher levels.
They're getting added on the 26th of this month.
Oh, on Amazon.
Yeah.
Yo, you know what else stock I like? I really like UPS too, man. I was telling OptionsKing, like I haven't traded in a while, so I thought they had bad spreads, but they really didn't have any bad spreads. So I really like UPS. I was looking at the UPS on what stock out? The 152.5 call from March the 1st. I'm in so much stuff right now. Boeing just been chopping so freaking much, man. It's crazy. Like I don't even. I go through Boeing, but I'm like Boeing got low value now. I don't know what they doing with Boeing.
Wait, which one are you
I
talking about?
just looking at Boeing chart. Like ever
Oh,
since he just kept,
bruh.
it's just pitiful.
Let's not talk about that.
Did you get in some calls just to see was it gonna do anything?
No, dude, I looked at that and I was like, nope.
Yeah, it's just horrible. I look at it, I was looking at the weekly chart because I was watching it like when this was. I was looking at it. Yeah, January the 19th. I'm like, yo, it got a little hammer. You know,
Mm-hmm.
gap 3 weeks in a row. It could be time, but it did nothing. And I'm like, man, it's just. I like it more to the downside than the upside. It's just horrible. It needs to break 197 though,
Mm-hmm.
197.91. But I like, I like, I like Cat because Cat look like it's gonna close inside week hammer. And I was talking about FedEx too, man. FedEx been trying to get right. I just hate this horrible downtrend and like a swing high, swing low, swing high, swing low. Like it really wants lower. So I rather not even touch the stock.
Cat had an
It's way
inside
more
day.
better moves.
It might go crazy tomorrow.
Yeah, you talking about FedEx?
No, Cat.
Cat.
Yeah, bro.
Go look at
Like
Walmart.
it's
Go look at
I,
Walmart daily. Walmart looking crazy for tomorrow.
bro.
If
Like I ain't
that
gonna
thing
count.
pops
Like
tomorrow,
I think
man.
you had mentioned like someone mentioned consumer staples.
On Tuesday, because the hammers, but we opened red, we caught that gap down, and then we caught the upside today. So don't sleep. We're doing really good, and we're real accurate. And that's all I want to say. Not too much happened, but I'm happy again with this week. If anybody else has something, feel free. But we killed it again. If y'all need help with anything, feel free to reach out to me, message me, whatever. But let's keep going up. You know what I'm saying? Positive vibes. Let's keep making that money. I'm done talking. Feel free if you have any questions about anything that happened this week. I'll cover it for you. I'll look it over. I know y'all were talking about some inside days for tomorrow. I have a whole list of inside days, so we can go over that as well, whenever y'all want. So. Are you recording, bro?
Oh yeah, I am.
Damn, YouTube is gonna hear the gems of what happened to the market. I don't know. We're gonna have to put a paywall behind this video.
Better get a Patreon.
Yeah, like people don't know some of this stuff. They can't hear everything we talking about. This is for paid members only.
We can set something up. I don't know.
No, I'm just playing. But like it's crazy. AMD went up 15 today. So if Nvidia has earnings, you play in AMD instead. You buy on a put, your call goes up 600%. Your put goes to 0. You made 500%. Like Simple, you know? It's crazy, man.
Yeah.
Meta went up 20 today. Meta's been looking kind of bearish, and it ripped right back to the top. Netflix ripped right back to the top, so we need to see what happens next. But, you know, overall, we're bullish, man. NVIDIA set fireworks to the market. How much did the Qs go up today?
I think 10 or 12. I don't know.
I'm trying to look at, like, the whole NASDAQ. And this shit went up, like 400 points.
Oh, yeah.
That's insane.
Yeah, I played some Q calls today.
Mm-hmm.
It
I was a little busy today, but if you go, I'll post a picture in the chat. And I also took some screenshots. I wanted to send this to you guys. So I'm going to post this in the chat. This is just a weekly chart to show you guys how we were still above the 9. So that's why you wanted to be careful with your shorts. Like, we timed it perfectly. But I bet you other people probably got long. They're like, oh, it's finally the top. And then today their puts got wrecked, destroyed. And that's why you don't short yet, because we're still above the 9 on the weekly chart. You know what I'm saying? And then this is a picture of the daily chart. And this is SPY. So you see, yesterday morning, I also wanted to bring this up. I told you guys we were at a key level and we needed to hold. So the fact that we knew that in the morning and then the market trended up and closed higher, when you know all those things, it's like kind of easier to make a decision. That's why I was leaning towards calls. Me and Lee were talking in the DM. We were talking about calls. So you're not always going to get in everything, but you just want to know the direction, because if you know the direction, you're looking in the right place, you know. So happy with our execution. SPY bounced off of like 493, 492. That was a key support level. That shit's at all-time highs, man. It is crazy.
Does anybody have a PT to the top side?
For what?
Qs? NASDAQ?
What's your PT?
Hold on, I just took a picture of it. 454 on the safe side.
454?
Yep.
What's your time frame?
I've been looking at all of them.
Okay, look at this picture I'm about to send you guys. Like, oh my God, you can't make this up, man. All right, look at this shit. So 421, 420, that's a really key level. Remember, like 3 weeks ago when the Qs hit 420? Like, that's a key support, and we hammered off of that yesterday. But the weekly chart is the most important.
Yeah, where'd you post the chart?
I'm posting in the chat.
Oh, okay. Okay, got it.
So that's just a daily chart of the Qs showing you how we were kind of at a support level and made a hammer. But look at the weekly chart. Look at this. Back to the 9 on the weekly chart. You don't short as support, you buy as support. Look what happened. The bottom yesterday when I said we're opening as support, look at that shit. That wound up being the 9 on the weekly chart. So sometimes in the morning or like right after open, you could pull up a weekly chart and you're like, okay, we look a little bearish, but we're at the 9 on the weekly or the daily. Should we buy? And it just helps you. So you got to go back and look at what happened during the week. I'm not trying to be annoying, but doing stuff like this helps you for the future. So I didn't see the Qs bounced off the 9 until just now, to be honest with you. But it's crazy to see that's what happened. It's insane. That bottom, that's Apple right there. That bottom is Apple at 180. And Apple ripped off 180 again. Bias support. Is Dieso on?
Yeah, he
Bro,
is.
yo, Nvidia's. I mean, this doesn't.
Yo, what up?
Nvidia's up 25 after hours.
Damn.
You about to be paid tomorrow
No,
morning.
it was just a real small, it's kind of, I actually bought it this morning and kind of just held it all day long kind of deal. I don't know how I got such a shitty fill, but like right off the rip this morning, it was down like 50%, like 10 minutes later. So I was like, well, shit, now I gotta hold it. So anyways, it probably won't do much, but it should do something maybe.
Did you close green?
Yeah, yep, up a little bit today, but it was a struggle. I kind of,
Yeah.
What strike call do you have from the video? And they
Let me check. It is for 3-1, the 890. So it's still gonna be damn $80. But it's like this is one of these that I might want to like hold like literally all week next week maybe. Because like
sell
it
over the
could run
weekend.
$90 in a week. Sorry, what was that?
I would sell it over the weekend and rebuy it next week. This is a 3-1, right?
Yeah. It's cheap. It's only at $1.84 right now.
We come off a great year. We start the new year off super aggressive. We come off a terrible year.
So yeah, I'm watching the video tomorrow. I'm watching Carvana, just because it'll probably have continuation, kind of like we talked about, good earnings, and it just kind of seems to be in a good spot. It made the bounce kind of deal. Let's see, 64. So actually at all-time high. No, not all-time highs, but at yearly highs. Is it all-time highs? No. That's what's crazy. Carvana used to be up at $350. That thing
Yeah,
must
once upon a time, you couldn't walk into a dealership to buy a car. So
All of that shit was fake, man.
So it might still have some room, but I don't know. Watching what else? That's
Square,
really
man. I should have called Square for freaking earnings. That's my bad, y'all. Square gapped up like crazy.
Hey, we did analysis on that in like 5 seconds. Or
Yeah.
Hey, listen, you're not going to get into everything, but which way were we looking? We were looking up, right? So if we would have got in, we were buying the 75s and we would have made a bag. So it is what it is. I'd rather be looking the right way than be like, oh, we would have got clapped. So
True.
I had a feeling they were going to pop, and I was telling you about that chart. It looked like it was flagging. Come on, like they say don't use charts for earnings, but and it's wild, bro, wild. Like how did Nvidia AMD go up $20 today? That's fucking crazy. Excuse my language. Crazy. And like
It's getting fried. That buying pre-market just made everybody bullish.
oh yeah, and a lot of shorts got squeezed. That's why it gapped and kept running. That's why I was comfortable saying SMCI was going to 1,000 when it was at 920, because you can just see squeeze price action. Like I was busy all day, but somebody asked me to SPY bullish at like 12:30. I'm like, it broke out and it's above VWAP in the 9. You don't buy puts, you buy calls, and then it went up another $1.50. So just always stick with the trend. Don't short unless your strategy says to short. Sticking with the flow helps out the most. You never want to fight it, never.
Yeah, there wasn't a single candle on SPY today where sellers were in charge. So
And let's talk about this too, right? So remember, over the weekend, what did you send me about NVIDIA?
me?
Yeah, would you DM me this weekend about NVIDIA?
Oh, I don't even remember. What did I?
About the golden put sweeps?
Oh, yeah. Okay, yep.
Okay, so what happened was they loaded puts on Friday and then they dropped it Monday and Tuesday. So in your head, remember you were like, I'm NVIDIA? What happened was you
Yep.
saw the flow. And yeah, that
Yep.
flow did work for 2 days, but they try to trick people into being short into the earnings. No, the puts came in, they made a little bit of money if they sold, but you don't short Nvidia when it drops 100 and you know the earnings are gonna be good. You just don't short it. You don't. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
That's a mistake. Like, hey, at least what I'm telling you guys, like you can see happening in real life, so you know for the future. Like now you guys know earnings are important. I didn't know that for a couple years. People are just like, oh, earnings, I just want to play earnings. But when you actually learn about them, you're like, oh shit, like damn. I think they made what 8 times their last year's quarter. I posted it on
I
Instagram,
think it
like
was
some
4x.
crazy shit.
Yeah.
Like they 4x in a year. That's why I told you guys that shit could go to 1,000. Because when you're growing that fast, like I told you last voice session, they're actually cheaper than they used to be, even though they're at all-time highs, because their earnings have gone up more like than the share price has gone up. You get it?
Mm-hmm.
So they have room to keep going. SMCI dropped what, 300 or 400 and went up almost 300 in one day. That's how much demand there is for this stuff, you know? So we're going to keep catching these moves. And just to let you guys know I kind of don't call SMCI. What I'm doing is I'm analyzing their contracts. So every stock I trade, I kind of know how the contracts move, but I'm still trying to figure out how SMCI moves and which ones I can call for you guys, because sometimes I'm buying the contracts that cost 3K, and if I post that, you guys are going to roll your eyes. So I'm going to try to find like out the monies that are like 400 that could flip to like 1,500 for you guys. Just give me like another week. I've been trying to study it, you know, because I just started trading it recently, but once I get it down packed, I'm gonna try to call like the out the monies for you guys, and we can day trade them like Thursday and Friday.
Yeah, I wonder
As
what
you
SMCI is
see,
going to do tomorrow.
I think the chips go up again.
Mm.
But I really like day trading that stock, man. Me and Rogue were talking about it, and you could get a 2-minute candle that moves $10, $15.
Yeah.
You don't need a lot.
It moved like old school Tesla used to move, which I dearly miss.
Bro, I mean, you
Yeah.
got the new one. You
Yeah.
experienced it.
Yeah. So we definitely gonna be trading that more often. Like we said, the contracts aren't cheap, but they pay. So, you know, a contract averages $1,000. A 10% move on that is $100. So, and obviously we're not trading for 10%. So just do the math and the law of averages. We will make some money off of SMCI. So be prepared.
I mean, if something is moving $50 in an hour, I'd hope you'd be able to catch it either up or down.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, short week, but very interesting. I really like Thursdays. Like Thursdays are some of my best days. I don't know, the market just moves good Thursdays.
Day to Thursday.
Day to Thursday. What's AMD's all-time high? 52-week high, 185. I mean, I guess AMD could go to 185 tomorrow.
How about AMD when it was $10 a share back in 2014? That was like one of my first stock purchases.
Walmart inside day, Win inside day. If you want to unmute yourself and ask any questions, feel free. Just open conversation. This is a good opportunity for you to ask something that you need, help with. Any lingo I talk about you don't understand, great time to ask, to get prepared.
Which time frame do you use to chart inside days?
So if you're charting an inside day, you need to look at the daily chart because you're charting an inside day setup. So you want to look at today's candle and the previous day's candle, right? So a daily chart for an inside day. And if you guys can do me a favor, because it'll just like streamline the process. I have no problem answering questions in the chat, but if you're like, hey, what do you think now is going to do at the 200 on the 1 hour? If you're already looking at it, just send me a picture of that, because when you guys ask me questions, I'll like go check it. But if you can just send the screenshot and the question at the same time, I could like answer it even faster, So just feel free to drop it in member cards and be like, hey, what do you think about this? It'll be easier.
So I'm kind of wondering, like, potentially for next week, watching like NVIDIA, like one strike price, for example, like 900, because like it's possible NVIDIA 900 next week. I'm kind of thinking like, could one strategy be like dollar cost average in? So like, yeah, you're kind of going all in on one play, but if so you kind of use 100% of your account, but if you average it in over the week kind of deal, or like over the 4 day or over 5 days, what do you think about that? Is that a kind of crazy thing to do?
Okay, so first of all, some people had bad experiences last week, so we never go all in, first of all. But if that's what you wanted to do and you're bullish on NVIDIA and you want to swing for days, I wouldn't put all your position at once. I would do what you said. I would start it. I would initiate it. If the contracts get cheaper, you would bring your average cost down. And then once you have your full position and you have your conviction and your PT, you just hold. You got to stick to your strategy. But if I'm going all in on something, I want to build my position, especially if it's a swing trade. So, NVIDIA might pop up 15 and then drop 10. You buy another one when it drops. SMCI had some like $30 drops today. So if you knew it was going to go up another 150, you wanted to buy all those dips and build your position on the dips, because then you just make money faster when it goes back up. So I wouldn't suggest going all in. You do what you want, but the risk. You've been doing this long enough. You either hit big or you get clapped. So just be safe. Now, if you just want to get in on Friday at the end of the day, then obviously you got to go all in.
I feel like the only reason you'd have to use 100% is if you were wrong the first like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Otherwise you could like just take profits out kind of each day kind of deal, or wait till Wednesday potentially, and then or Tuesday, or so yeah, anyways, that's my plan going forward. I'm gonna start and initiate it tomorrow with 100 $200, and then kind of be watching that, kind of try to just focus on that next week.
Yeah, man, like swing trading is where you make the money. So I started out as a day trader, and I thought day trading was everything, but I met a partner and he told me, no, swing trading is where you make money. And he was right. Like, don't get me wrong, you could hit 100% from time to time swing, like day trading, but you make more percent swing trading. So, you buy the dip on SMCI 2 days ago and then you catch today, that's called a swing trade. You make 1,000%. You buy the dip on anything and you swing for 2 days, 3 days, a week. That's how you make a bag. So, I know I haven't been calling as many like 2 week swings. I kind of was focused on that at the beginning of the year, but it's because we've been stuck in a tight range. That's why I haven't called any longer swings, because it's kind of like I don't know if we're gonna break out or go down. But once I see like what we're gonna do, I'm gonna try to get us in some like month swings. You know what I'm saying? Because I want us to have some trades we're just kind of chilling in. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna try to do better with that.
And to piggy off that, it's a lot safer buying out because it's not going to go to zero. You know,
Mhm.
I have equity in it.
So what did you do with SMCI this week, PK Flight?
Kept buying the dip.
And
Went to
today was
sleep.
the day it paid off.
Yep. Overnight into today.
Which call
But I
did
think
you
I have a 420 call. Hold on, let me check. I know I'm in the 950s for this
Flight
week.
is a big SMCI bull. If you got a question about SMCI, and I can't answer it, ask that guy. He's the SMCI bull.
So I got a 1200 call for 420 and 950 for this week, and I'll reposition probably next week.
And then let me touch on what rolling your position is, and then I'll give you guys an example. And I believe I talked about this last voice session. And, you know, sometimes throughout the day, I'll see people say, oh, my God, it kept going out. I missed out. But if you had a strategy in place, you wouldn't be complaining anymore because you would get back in, right? So, you know, stop complaining that you missed out on something and sold early. Get back in. So SMCI today, right? I bought 900 calls. It went crazy. I took profits and I bought 1,000 strikes. Those went crazy. I took profits. I bought 1,100s. I made money on those. So I did sell my 900s early. If I held on my 900s, I would have made like $40,000. It is what it is. I didn't, right? But instead of looking back 5 hours later and saying, oh my God, I missed out, I was able to make a little bit more because I got back in. So, like, I don't think about how much I could have made anymore. It's kind of like, you know, I got back in and still caught some, you know? So if something is moving with force and is like breaking out on a daily or a weekly chart, you can get back in. You know, don't be scared. And especially if you're using profits, right? So say I make $6,000 profit on SMCI and then I put 2,000 on the thousands, right? I'm not putting up a lot of risk. I'm playing with profits, but I still have strong conviction in that play. So you're just gonna make more money, but you have less risk and you took profits, you know? So I just want to teach you guys all those little things you can do. You know what I'm saying? Don't think you missed out on a breakout or a breakdown because you could probably get back in. You know, I say that a lot. Use your profits. You know, be smart. And always write me in the chat. I'm basically like free all the time now. So if you need me, I got you. You know, if you have a question about something, you know, hit me up. There's somebody that joined recently and they haven't been getting in my swing trades and they've been asking me in the morning, hey, should I get in? Hey, should I get in? And I'm just like, no, bro, like it's you should have bought it last night. Like Google's up huge already. You know, if you would have bought Google today at open, you would have got clapped kind of because it was choppy. So if you miss out on the swing, you know, ask me in the chat like after open if you should get in so I can see the trend and then I'll tell you. But if you ask me like before open, I'm just gonna say no because I don't know what's gonna happen here. You never missed out. Never missed out.
What's y'all's next week profit target for NVIDIA and SMCI? Just curious. PK and okay.
I'll let PK give his PTs.
So for SMCI, I don't try and predict price. I try to react to what's happening in the market. So I think that it can definitely break its all-time high. A lot of stocks are about to do that. So I have that 420 call for SMCI. I think it will hit 1200 next week. Looking at where we at now, It can either hold and stay in its current position or go wild. So my PT for SMCI would be its 1080, and then like a extra high PT would be like 1200. And then I would probably leave something naked and probably buy puts and hope my puts get fried. But I would at all time high.
All right, this is the same exact thing that happened last week. I love when the same things happen over and over because you just know what to look for. Look at this, man. This is crazy. I'm gonna post it in the chat. So, on Webull, you have a bunch of cool widgets you can use to just help you process information. So, remember last week, those 1,000 strikes had the most like volume and open interest. Now look, this week they stacked 53K of the thousands, and I feel like I say the same thing every time. But where did SMCI go today? 1,000. I didn't look at that till just now, but it looked like they wanted 1,000 today, and they took it to 1,000. That's where all the calls were. So, man, write this stuff down, memorize it. But I kind of just like implement so many things, and like when you have more reasons to get into something, you're just more comfortable. So, looking at the price action, seeing Nvidia had good earnings, you add that all up together, and you're not scared to buy SMCI calls. It gets emotional, but when you feel like conviction, it takes the pressure off of you, So that's what I do.
And then pre-market tells you a lot. So like that tells you like the daily range, what's bullish, and what's bearish. So OptionKings post that like every day. So I'll use that as my targets for the day. And if we're breaking out of that, you stay bullish. If we're going down, obviously bearish.
And like, I don't want to sound like a broken record, but I'm pretty sure like in the past I've told you when AMD like shoots up in the morning, it keeps going. So, you see Nvidia up 11. I mean AMD up 11. You're like, damn, it's up too much. I'm not gonna lie to you. At like 10:30, it was up 15, and I'm like, is it good here for puts for a day trade? And you think it's too high and it's good for puts, and it went up another like $3-4. Like, just don't short things going up. I just want y'all to get in like good trades and don't do things I used to do. It's crazy. Like, it's up 16. You're like, ooh, I can get in puts for a day trade. But if you would have just went with the flow, it's crazy, man. So, nowadays I kind of keep myself out of bad situations. I kind of wanted to touch on what I've been doing recently, just to keep you guys in the loop. As you see, I've been really conservative and like being really smart. The days we swing and I'm up, some days I don't trade. But doing that, the past month, I've been making good money. And I know it's hard. Like, you guys want to trade all day, but I promise you, the people that are trading 4 times every day are not making money. I promise you. So discipline is key, and I've been trying to use discipline. So like I said, if I swing some days and I'm up $600, if I make 600 every day for a month, I'm up 20 bands. But people don't want to wait day after day and be slow. So I just want to let you guys know, patience. It's okay to have patience. You don't need a day trade all day if you hit your target, because if you hit your target every day, at the end of the month, you're going to be happy. Okay, so just to let y'all know what I've been doing personally, at the end of the week, I've been taking money out of my account and then building it back up, taking money out of my account. And then listen to this, like, just so y'all know I'm not lying. So I told you guys I don't like to keep a lot of money in my account because it entices you to use too much. You don't need to use a lot of money to make a lot. And even though I have a lot of buying power right now, you saw I only put 1,000 on Google. I could have put 10K on Google, but I'm still being smart. if ExxonMobil and Google went to zero today, I would have lost 2,000. But I still would have had my account. I could have made the 2,000 back. If I would have put 10,000 on those plays and they go to zero, almost half of my account is gone, and I'm in a bad position. So I want to let you guys know, like, I'm practicing. I'm not going all in on these plays. You know, I'm being patient, and that's what I want to teach you guys. Like, I was upset with what some of you guys did last week because I don't teach that. You don't go all in on 0 dates. Come on. You're not going to hit 100K like that, you know? So y'all know I got your back. Be patient. We're going to hit good plays, you know? You know, don't be trying to hit home runs every day, man. Like, I think about shit like month. You know, we're going to look like at the end of the month. So stay locked in, guys. Stay locked in. Stay smart. It's a marathon. I want to do this till I die. So I'm not trying to make $1 million tomorrow. But if I make $1 million by the end of the year, I'll be happy, you know? There's no rush. I might turn shit up a notch, though. Like, I'm tired of missing out on stuff like Pan W. Like, we can't miss out on that. Like, you can't miss out on $2,000, 2,000%, 20,000% options. If we would have just bought both sides, what's 1,000 times 20,000%? 1,000 times 20,000%. Oh my God, I'm sick. Like,
No, you would have to do 1,000 times 200.
That's just 200K.
Or would
no, if you put in 1,000 and your 1,000 went up 20,000%, that's the math.
Oh, so that's 2,000 times 1,000. That's look at that.
yeah, but 20,000% is 200, right?
No, 20,000% is wait, I need to look.
200, yeah. So times 1,000 by 200.
No, 20.
I mean, it's still a lot of money.
Oh no, 20,000% is
No,
200. No,
200,000.
20,000% is 2,000. It's 2,000x, right? No. Wait. Oh wait.
It's the same math. I just did the math. 1,000 times 20,000% is 200,000. 1,000 times 200 is 200,000.
Yeah.
It's the same.
Yes.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, yeah,
Yeah.
same math. Okay.
You guys know me. I'm not a gambler. I don't try to hit huge home runs, but if we can play both sides on something and potentially, like, we could have easily, I mean, it's easy to look back and say it, but we need to catch something like that, man. So what I can tell you guys is if you don't risk, you'll never accomplish anything. Sometimes you got to take risks. Don't risk your rent money. Don't risk your car payment. But if you made some good money, I never made money without risking. Like, sometimes you got to risk it. Man, just seeing what's possible is what keeps me going, man. Like, I wish we could all get in a fucking play and we all make 10K, 20K. That's my dream. Like, we can't miss out on shit like that, man.
How do you not miss out on shit like that? It's just like so hard to find it, you know, at the moment. Or did any of us get in Pan W? I know Ro was talking about it, or was it the day after?
Nah, I'm glad I didn't because I thought since it was tech, I was conflicted. I honestly should have straddled it because I don't know if you remember the conversation we had last time.
I do.
Yeah, I was saying tech is in a bubble.
Yeah.
It's just riding the wave of the chips. And I was 100% right on that Pan W. But OptionsKing brought up a good point. He was like, well, it's not like the EV bubble because the tech companies actually make money. And I was like, oh, that's a good point. So I did look at the contracts and I was like, I'm not sure which way it could go, but I should have just straddled it. I should have did the same thing I did with Soxo because when you straddle and it makes the move that it makes, even though the other side gets burnt, the side that won washes that out completely.
Yeah.
So lesson learned.
Damn. So how much were those contracts for Pan Dub when you saw it? Do you remember?
Ooh, the ones I was looking at, I was trying to find like some cheap ones, and I think they were like 600 a pop.
Oh, okay.
And they were really far out the money, like really far.
But they still hit, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
but that was another thing I was scared of, like, because if you get far with the money on earnings play and it doesn't hit,
Yeah.
it could still beat. But if it doesn't reach there, you'll still lose. So
Okay,
But-
so look. So for earnings, a stock has an expected move. Like the contracts, everybody can do the math, and there's already a priced in expected move. If the stock does way more than the expected move, that's when those out the monies go 20,000%. So KNW was at 370 and dropped to 290. So basically 100 strikes down. That's not, it's not feasible. Nobody would ever predict that. So when it happens, that's how those contracts pop. So those 290s were not 600. Those 290s were like $60, $50. So if you were just like, oh, I'm gonna just buy some 300 puts, oh, it's really far, but we'll see. Nobody thinks about that. I'm not saying it's easy, but I mean, I'm not saying we would have did that, but we definitely could have bought some like $200 puts. You know what I'm saying? But it's just all a learning lesson. Like there's earnings every 3 months. Like that's why it's good to analyze what's possible. You know, you just gotta know what's possible. And I'm trying to hit something like that. I have never hit that. And if you put $1,000 on the right play, y'all know by now. Man, I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I haven't put a lot of money on a play and hit over 1,000% yet. That's what I'm trying to do. 1,000 goes a long way.
Yeah. So basically, what I'm trying to do is just get your profits every single day, save it up, and buy a fucking straddle for earnings, and then
just compound your gains.
Yeah. That's crazy. Because people did that with Meta too.
You know, exactly. Yeah. You don't do that with every stock. You do that with the stock that you know possible for it to make a big move. Like you just gotta know if it's possible. We know Meta tanks on earnings and Meta rips on earnings. So if you want to play both sides on Meta, that makes sense. Nvidia was gonna make the market move a lot, so playing both sides makes sense. You don't do that with regular plays, and don't just do that for anything. But if it makes sense, it does work. And I'm pretty sure we talked about this last week or 2 weeks ago. So I'm happy that we're not just talking, we're walking too. Like there's a lot of things like I hold back because I have too much information. Like I can't give you guys 6 plays in a day. It's too much. But me and Rogue be talking about stuff. Me and Lee be talking about stuff. I give you guys direct signals. We talk in the chat. Like there's so much money to be made. I'm telling y'all, like you're in the right place. Lee gave out Wells Fargo. He gave out Merck. I told him about Crowd. Like Rogue gave you SOXL. Like, hey, we just keep these good ideas flowing, we're gonna be good. And y'all got me. Y'all know I don't play no games. Let's keep going. Let's keep going. I'm excited to see what the next move in the market is. Like it's crazy. Like it's nostalgic.
This chip bubble gonna be epic because it's gonna be exactly like the .com bubble. Trust me.
It's scary. I'm not lying. I'm not gonna lie to you. I know you guys hear me say crazy stuff like it's gonna keep going and it's gonna keep going. It can, but when this drops, we have to catch it. It's gonna be so ugly. Oh my god, like it's gonna be ugly. Like SMH doesn't stay above the 9 for this long on a monthly chart, and it hasn't checked back to the 9 in 3 months. So it's eventually gonna come check back, but we gotta buy that dip. You know what I'm saying? And you know, when it comes to long-term investing, if you didn't know to choose between SMCI, Nvidia, or AMD for the long term, remember ETFs are your safest bet, especially if you don't know about stocks. So if you were like, okay, OptionsKing 6 months ago said the chips are good and they're gonna go up. If you bought SMH, go look at SMH's chart. You would have made a ton of money. So you can buy the Qs, you can buy SMH. You know, um, the ETFs make beautiful moves.
Right, bro. What do you think about
What do you think about
Bill?
earnings? I didn't do too much analysis. Let me see the chart. The chart
It's another
bottom.
steel company ripped for earnings, like 2 days ago. TS. I don't know if you ever traded them.
Did
Go
you
look at
ever
their
get in
chart.
the calls, the 14 calls?
I did, yeah.
These calls are 3 cents. If this stock gapped up to 14 and a half or like 15, those would pay so much. To give you an answer on it right this second, like I don't lie or talk about things I don't know. I don't really look at that company, but steel stocks, I believe Nucor had a great quarter. Nucor is the biggest steel company. They're located in Charlotte, North Carolina. They had good earnings. I forget what CLF did. I think CLF went up too. So
Let me see.
um,
Yeah, CLF. Well, they missed, but the next day it was a big green day. They bought it up.
yeah. So
Oh my
I'm
goodness.
assuming you got in. That's why you're asking. And you see something like that, you're not risking a lot. So they're 3 cents. Could have bought a bunch of them for cheap. The SPY is at 5,100. That
That's
is,
nuts.
y'all don't know how, this is not normal. I'm telling y'all, like, I can't wait to look back and talk about this. We went up 10 points in 5 months. That's insane. Insane. And then the reason why we could keep squeezing is now I have people in my DM. They're like, all right, like other traders. They're like, all right, I'm getting ready for puts now. So what happens is people think it's the top and we're too high, so they start loading puts and it squeezes the market higher. So, like, why are you trying to time the top? There's no signal. You might get lucky. Yeah, we're overextended. It could drop, but I'm good. I'd rather just wait till I see it instead of timing it because it's too risky, man. Too risky.
Yeah, on my Apple 10-minute chart, it's crazy.
Okay.
They just like at about noon, they just like started buying the hell out of it. And yeah, it was I've never really seen something like that obvious where somebody's just like, yeah, I don't know. That Apple Today chart was just crazy looking to me for some reason.
All right, let me try to analyze it real quick. Okay. So this is my quick analysis. I'm going to show you the daily chart and then the 10-minute chart. And, you know, just from my point of view, when I look at stuff like this, it just makes sense. Like when I look at something, I want it to make sense. Okay. So first of all, we knew Apple was at support 2 days ago at 180, right? So we already know it's possible for it to rip. And then this is what happened today. I'm going to send the chart in the chat. And I believe I've seen Apple do this before. When Apple does this, it's bullish and it goes up every time. So the first thing you want to look at is the daily chart, okay? So when you look at the daily chart, you see it had a hammer, the red hammer at the bottom 2 days ago at support. That's bullish. And then the next day, it made a higher low and it tried to make a higher high. But it's continuing up, right? So it triggers today. And then when you go look at the 10-minute chart, how it was choppy, Where is it choppy at? It's choppy at the daily trigger. So price was just testing. It was testing. Apple is not the most bullish stock in the market right now, so it's not gonna boom like Meta does. It's not gonna boom like AMD. You're gonna have to like get in at a precise time, but it was testing trigger, and then when the market took off, it was ready to go. So that's my analysis. It was a little bit of a slow mover, but it was holding support. If you bought Apple calls today and you sold during that chop, you shouldn't have sold. It never broke pre-market lows, and then what you do is you pull up the daily chart and you're like, okay, it's just testing. I got to hold. And if you would have held, you would have got blessed. So that's just my perspective. I know it's crazy looking at it during the day. You're like, what the heck? Testing that key level. You'll notice that sometimes, like if something's like trying to break out but it can't yet, it's probably testing like a daily high. But once it pops, it goes. Once they bounced it with volume off that level, that was your key. Like once you saw 3 fat 10-minute candles, now you're like, oh shit, they're buying it. Okay, SPY is moving. Boom, Apple calls. Thursday, if you would have caught that, I mean, come on. That's an easy trade,
So they had a bunch of bad news recently, right? They're kind of down bad more so than some of the other big, mag names, or whatever that phrase is. So it's probably got some room back to the upside, right? I mean, looking at the daily, it ought to get back to 200 pretty quick. If it ain't got no bad news and good earnings report whenever they do. Oh, they just had one.
You want me to be honest with you? I don't think Apple's gonna go back to 200 anytime soon. That's just my opinion. No analysis or anything. It's just I don't think it is, just due to the price action that's been showing recently. Like, what's gonna make Apple go up another 15? That's a lot. Like the Qs.
I guess it's just weird that all the tech is doing good, but they're really not.
You want me to tell you why?
Yeah.
So earnings are important, right? So Apple earnings have actually been going down, I believe, year over year. So when they reported, there was no juice. The investors didn't get happy. They weren't scrambling to buy more Apple shares. They're like, okay, it wasn't that impressive. We're going to sell it. We could buy it back cheaper. There's no catalyst for Apple to go higher. So over the past 2 weeks, since it's been struggling, they rotate into other things. You just got to find where else the money's going. So, you know what I'm saying? You're trying to play Apple every day, play Apple calls, but the money and the volume is not in Apple right now. But where do you get bullish on Apple? At support. You buy it at support instead of playing all that chop up and down. Just wait till support. It bounced off 184 times. Like, you know what I'm saying? So that's what I'm talking about, key levels. Like, this chart is ugly. The past, 5 days, look at that price action. It's horrible. But if you would have timed the bottom, you would have felt so good. The next 2 days, it just rips up because you bought at a key level.
How much longer is earnings season going on for? And do we got any notable ones next week?
To be honest with you, I feel like earnings season never stops. But I don't even know. Like, my brain is, I feel like I'm posting it every week. I don't know if one of you guys know and want to step in. I don't know.
Next, I think we've gotten all of the big names for Q4 already, but earnings season is continuous. It's just when the big companies report for the 2-week period each quarter is when it's on high alert. But next week, I could check real quick. Give me 1 sec. But like I said, I think we got all the big names out already. Let me check for next week. See if I see anything.
Yeah, no biggie. We can talk about anything else. I guess tomorrow is more important than next week.
Did you say anything other than that? You asked another question, right?
I don't think so.
But yeah, man. That's why I tell you about like earnings momentum and continuation. It's not a lie, man. Like that shit sticks. You know, Meta. Like, look at Meta. Meta. Meta gapped up for earnings and went to 480 and dropped to 454 and bounced. And went back up to 480, went back to 460 and bounced. And went back up to 486, resistance, and went back to 464. When it went to 464, I bet you everybody was like, wow, it's finally going to drop. I'm not going to lie. Last week, I posted it on the watch list. I'm like, I'm just going to watch it. I'm watching it below here. But that was support. When you buy a support, the thing goes up 20 today. So, you know, you just can't be scared. CrowdStrike dropped what? $3 yesterday? I don't know if you guys watch CrowdStrike, but it doesn't really go up 30 or down 30. So reverse psychology. Instead of thinking it's bearish, that's a fake drop. You buy calls. I know it's scary. You're like, oh shit, it's red. No, it's going to go up tomorrow. You know, reverse psychology. So you buy calls on Crowd, the thing goes up 15 today. You know? Like, think simple. Very simple.
Next week we got Mara, Snow, CRM. That's Wednesday, I suppose.
That's a pretty big week.
Yeah, we gotta. What tickles your fancy? Snow and Salesforce?
Yes,
Those
no.
are pretty important.
Them cyber, right? Yeah.
Snow is like they house data. They house information.
Oh, they're cloud. Okay.
Yeah, cloud.
Cloud service should be.
Snow ripped last time, right?
Yeah, they had a really good one last one.
Yeah, but there was another cloud service that just reported and they ripped. Who was that?
Was it this week?
It was like last week, I think.
I would have to pull up the earnings. Let me go back to the channel and go look real quick. Important news.
Zscaler's next week too. Next week Thursday night. So that means Friday morning. Unity reports next week as well.
Man, that shit's gonna tank.
Unity?
Man, that stock is garbage.
What do they do?
Unity.
Oh, video games.
Yeah, they do stupid shit. Excuse me. Sorry,
their games suck.
What games they known for?
Fuck.
I have no clue.
Oh, but you. Well, put on Unity then.
Unity.
Unity
were the people that made Pokemon Go. And like
oh, that was a hit.
But I mean, it isn't anymore. But like, they just make a bunch of games for like your iPhones. I'm pretty sure. I don't know.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
All right, look at this real quick. I'm gonna post it in the chat. I don't think the guy is on that asked me about this, but I don't know. Asked me before earnings or after, but we were talking about waste management, right? Look at the chart. It's at all-time highs, and it hit all-time highs last week because it had good earnings. I think he was asking me if I think it's going to continue or not, but I told him the trend is up. They've been buying it. So when it comes to being bullish or bearish on waste management, it doesn't matter how high it is. They're buying it on all time frames. You keep betting up. So as you see, it boomed again this week. Like I tell you, I like every day for years, I would just scan stuff and see what happens. And when you get this like stuff in your head, you'll just know like waste management boomed this week. Like that stock has been going crazy.
It was Cloudflare. Look my Newts posted it. It was Cloudflare that went crazy for the cloud company. So Net, that's a ticker.
Yeah.
So what was the company I just said? So Snow should probably go.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
Zscaler is a cybersecurity.
They report too on Thursday.
I seen that Reddit is gonna be having an IPO eventually.
Puts on that. Can't
Yeah,
wait
I
to
was
short
just about to
that.
say it's gonna tank.
Can't wait to short that.
One thing I was wrong about, well, I kind of told you guys all IPOs like tank for the first few months, but I mean, one IPO I was wrong about was ARM. So ARM IPO'd and it came out at like 60, but the thing that was different about ARM, why it went up, because it's a chip stock. So like,
And
when
it's
it
a holding company.
yeah, like, so it's just different. Like, it's a little complicated. SoftBank, I think SoftBank is Chinese or Japan, but they have billions and billions of dollars. They're one of the biggest funds. They own a majority stake in ARM. So they just, it's manipulated. It's not like American stock. So what you've seen ARM do the past month, I consider that fake. Now, it doesn't matter if it's fake or not. You can make money. But, you know, normal price action, it's not really supposed to happen like that. But it's been squeezed.
ARM is a UK stock, right?
Yeah.
Nah, it is.
I think they're based out of UK, but who owns them? SoftBank owns them, and they're Asian.
Yeah, SoftBank is Japanese.
Yeah. But like some of these moves, man,
Dell reports. What you think about Dell? They report Thursday night.
I've watched for the years. I don't think they make big moves.
They rip.
I think Dell's gonna announce in their guidance who they're gonna be partnering with for like the chips and whatnot, because they're about to stop using whoever they're using. I think that person is gonna go up crazy if they figure that out.
Okay.
And I don't know if you guys know, but there's a conference that Nvidia's doing, their keynote, next month. So that could be another thing to watch out for if they mention some names there at the conference. I don't know if they will, but you know, it might be something to watch.
Okay.
I think it's March 18th or something. I can look it up.
And like, I don't know if you guys care about what I say, but I'm gonna tell you anyway because I feel like it's important. But remember, we were talking about long-term investing like a month ago, and I told you like whoever runs the company, the management, the CEO, is very important because they're the face. They tell you all the news, right? So some CEOs, they don't know what to say. They're stupid. So on earnings calls, sometimes even if it's not as good, you can pump it up and talk good about the future. So Pan W, CEO, it dropped so much because of his tone of voice and what he said. He says it's not looking good in the future. That slams a growth stock. But the CEO of NVIDIA, he knows exactly what he's been doing. He's been executing flawlessly, and he knows what to say to pump the stock. So, like 15 minutes after they reported, and it wasn't really up a lot, I said, wait till Jensen gets on the call. And then it started flying. He starts just letting out fireworks and tells everybody everything they want to know. Those are the stocks you want to own. People that know how to keep their company strong. You know, they know how to talk, because some of these guys are idiots. And if you listen to the news, please don't believe everything you see, because they be trying to trick people. Like when I first started listening to the news, they would say like, oh, I'm buying this, I'm bullish or bearish, and I would do it and I lost every time. I really think they're manipulating people, because I watch just for breaking news, but they're so slow. Like, I don't know if they're doing it on purpose. Yesterday at 5 o'clock, I don't know if you guys watch CNBC, but on Fast Money, this guy named Dan Nathan comes on. He says NVIDIA's too expensive. I think it's going to be red tomorrow morning. After it was up 70 in after hours. Like, why are you saying that, bro? Like, I know TV is entertainment, but some people might believe you. So you can't. You gotta watch who you listen to. Even the news, y'all know, like the regular news, they be
The
lying.
news is the worst because
Yeah.
they get the information after it already happened.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, I'm so bullish on SMCI because if you look at NVIDIA and all their stock splits per share, they're at least at 24,000. In what's SMCI at? Not even 1,000. They've had no stock splits and just got or about to get added to the S&P. I don't know if that happened already or not.
It's just the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
It's just the beginning. And like, it's crazy. Like, I don't know, man. It's $250 in a day, or did it go up 300? Like,
I think
They go over 300.
you know, we've been bullish on it for a while, and what happens was everybody and their mom got bullish, like at the end, so they pulled the rug, you know, that day. But, you know, take a step back and be like, damn, it tanked a lot, and then it ripped right back up. So that shows you the demand for it, you know what I'm saying? And when you see stuff like that, I like how Ash, I was going to touch on this. If you go to members charts and go to 220, when was that? That was Tuesday, the first day of the trading week. Look at AMD. Okay? It's the same thing as Apple. Don't make it harder than it needs to be. Apple bounces at 180. Where does AMD bounce? At every time, 165. So he said AMD back to support. If you would have just bought at support, you would have made money. So, you know, we look at flow, we look at news, we look at levels, this, and that. Sometimes it's just buying at support, you know? Like, some people make it too complex. So remember, sometimes you can keep it simple. If you were like, okay, I'm going to position in AMD calls because I'm going to play NVIDIA earnings, you would have got a really cheap price on your position. Like,
That's the best way to play earnings. Something that's not too doesn't have too much IV, and they're gonna run with NVIDIA.
and then like, man, like, I could go for days. Like, once y'all know everything I know, y'all gonna be experts. But okay, so the Q options were juiced yesterday, right? They were more expensive than they could have been, but it's because of the earnings that were coming up, right? So the IV was like almost 40%, but they're usually 25%. So if you do the math, the Q options were like 35%, 40% more expensive. So when I looked at the options this morning, the Qs were up like $11. On a regular day, that's like 1,200%. But they were only up like 200% at open. I'm like, damn, that's crazy, because you probably would have woke up and been like, damn, I'm gonna make 1,000%, and then you're like, damn, only 200. You kind of get mad, but if you know why that's happening, like, you're not confused. But that's what happened. Like, the contracts were already juiced. So if they were cheaper and that happened, the contracts would have been up more percentages. But the contracts were already elevated. So you still make money, but you would have made more money. You know what I'm saying? So that's what happened. That's what happens with IV sometimes.
And looking at NVIDIA, they have that long wick down to 752. I think that's a short getting out. So when the wicks are down, I think they're buying back their shares. And when they're up, like up higher, they're trying to short it.
Can you please tell me what time frame you're looking at?
Who, me?
Yeah, you said the wick on what time frame?
10-minute chart, NVIDIA.
Okay, I thought you were looking at a daily. Are you talking about that fat wick at like the end of the day at like 5 o'clock?
752 drop.
Yeah. So what did you say? You think they what there?
They're getting bullish because if it was from the top instead of from the bottom, that's usually when the stock goes down the next day because they're buying shares to short.
Hey, if y'all talk to PK Flight, he's gonna have you on some type of other thinking. He be thinking complex. But yeah. What you're saying, I guess, isn't wrong because it's up 14 after hours. So
I think keep going.
I would not expect this stock to like tank. Like it might have a pullback one day or something, but they had really good earnings. It was the catalyst to take it the next leg higher, so it should keep going, man. Let me see if I can find any news we can go over. Nvidia, Meta, Costco, JP Morgan, American Express, Home Depot, Visa, Waste Management, like so many stocks hit all-time highs today, man. Shit's crazy. I want to see if they brought Lily back to the 9. If they did, okay. They brought it back to this breakout retest level. So a few people last week were asking me about like going long Eli Lilly, like literally at the top. And I try to help guide you guys. I just let you know you're literally buying at the tippity top. So it went up, I think, like one more day. But if you kept holding, you would have got clapped. But if you were patient and just waited for support, I'm gonna send you this chart in the chat. And that's why you don't ever want to have FOMO and like make bad decisions. So, you know, you have FOMO and you buy Lily calls a month out at $7.95 and it drops all the way to $7.30. But if you look where $7.30 is, you see those candles to the left. I consider that like a breakout retest. That's where Lily broke out from. So it's supposed to hold that level. If you would have bought there and you're like, okay, $60 drop, you get blessed the next day. It's crazy how that works, man. I can find a bunch of these examples. It's the type of stuff you got to look at.
You know more about like when the stock does private offerings. Is that good or bad?
There's so many different kinds. They can like do share offerings. They can do like bonds. I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't know all about that, but some of them are bearish and some of them don't matter. So
It is bond.
Talking about SMCI, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So as you see, some people were on like Twitter, like, "Oh my God, they're doing an offering. It's over," but they're stupid. They didn't know what kind it was. It wasn't like the really bad kind. Sometimes it's called like convertible notes. Like I said, I'm not gonna talk about it because I don't know, but they're for the future. So you can do a convertible note for like 3 or 5 years in the future. So it basically doesn't affect the current stock price. Now, when you do a share offering the same day, they're doing it the same day. So that's why you'll see bad reactions like in live time because they're doing it right now. So SMCI is doing it in the future. I remember Plug was ripping like 3 years ago. They did a share offering and it tanked like 20%. It's bad because when you put more shares on the market, it devalues the current shares because when you have more, the shares are less valuable. That's why companies that do buyback, go look at Nvidia. Go type in Google Nvidia's last earnings buybacks. They're buying back shares, which means they're taking shares out of the market, which means the remaining shares are more valuable. Go look at how much stock Apple has bought back. That's why these stocks don't tank for so long. There's so many good catalysts. Like y'all gotta know all of this. It's so important.
Fact is kind of like printing money. The more they print, the less it's worth. But I think the bond the bond thing is good because they can't take that money out for X amount of years.
Exactly. They're kind of locking it up for the future. I know y'all probably don't want to talk about this. Some of y'all might think it's interesting, but hey, knowing all this type of stuff just makes you more smarter, you know? I feel like it's important to be well-rounded as a trader, you know? It helps you out, knowing all this stuff. Like I said, some of y'all probably don't care, but I find this stuff super interesting. You had Trend Spider posting the big wedges on Spine QQQ, trying to scare.
I mean, from a technical aspect, they weren't wrong. We just keep disregarding technicals. So
everything keeps bouncing, man.
Yeah.
Let me see if I can find any news.
You know me, I'm a mega bull, but I see the stock market being the same place from like 3 or 4 years ago. I think the next 2 years is just up, buy support in the 9, couple bad days here and there.
I wanted to touch on this too. So I'm sure you guys have saw, but Jeff Bezos has been selling billions of dollars of Amazon, right? So Amazon did drop for like 3 days, but if you just went super short or like short too long, you're like, oh my God, it's the top. I'm buying puts for 2 weeks. Like it went down for 2 or 3 days. Like that was the move. Sometimes the move happened. If the move happened, like go move on to something else. Now look at how much it went up from the bottom. And I'm on Twitter right now. Trent Spider is posting about how much Mark Zuckerberg has been selling all year. He's been selling a lot. But just because they're selling shares doesn't mean the stock's going to start tanking. That's what people think. Oh my God, it's doomsday. You definitely don't want to see sells. You rather want to see buys. That's another reason why SMCI went up, because the CEO of the company was actually buying shares the whole way up. That's a super bullish catalyst. If you got the CEO buying shares on the way up, it's going to keep going. So, you know, I mean, I'm looking at Mark Zuckerberg. He's been selling Meta all year, but it doesn't matter because it's been going up. So sometimes you got to read between the lines, you know what I'm saying?
And these CEOs, the only way they get paid is by selling if there's an option.
Exactly. So they need to take profits, you know what I'm saying? He also moved to Florida from Washington, so that's another reason why he's been selling, because he just moved to Florida. So he's saving money, a ton of money on taxes, because there's no state income tax in Florida. So he's being strategic, you know?
Facts.
All right, y'all. I'm going to hop off. I'll see y'all tomorrow.
Deuces.
Great session.
I can't believe Amazon is almost back at all-time highs. Like, it was at 82. It had to grind to get back here. Like, what was the all-time high before the stock split? Like 3,500 or 30?
Amazon?
Yeah. Like
I
3,300?
think they made it to the all-time high yet.
No, I'm saying before they split and they were big, they were like 3,500, right?
I don't remember. What did they do? A 20 for one split?
I think it was...
If you do 188 times 20, that'll tell you.
Times 20.
It's like 36.
Did it get to 30?
3,700-ish, I think.
Was it really that high? Anyways.
Still higher.
No, it didn't get to 4,000.
It was... Wait, it was 2,785 before the split.
I got 3,760.
That's weird.
Well, we don't know.
What I did is I took their all-time high multiplied by how many shares they split by. So whatever info you're getting is probably more accurate on the average price and when they actually
Yeah.
split. I'm just looking at what they would be at their all-time
I
high.
see. Yeah.
They didn't
Okay,
split.
that makes sense.
Yeah, they did a 20 for 1. So Amazon 11/30/22. So it took Amazon a year and like 3 months. It went from 80 all the way back to almost all-time highs.
Buy some leaps on Amazon.
I'm not missing another opportunity, guys. Like, you don't understand. We could have got so rich, and it's okay to talk about the past. We're gonna get better from it. But then, like, oh my God, it makes me so mad. Meta was at $90, bro. Look where it is now. So when something is that low, we're gonna have to wait a long time for another opportunity like that. But that's when you buy 6-month and year contracts out of the money. All you gotta do, if you don't have a lot of money, you could spend 2,000 and you just hold. That 2,000 is gonna turn into 30, 40K, I promise you. Because you could buy like 30 out of the money is 100 strikes away, 150 strikes, and they hit. Imagine turning a like a $50 option into like an $800 or $1,000 option, and you have 30. So, man, we're
And
gonna
if you
have
got $2,000 in stocks, if you just turn on your margin account, you can just buy that. And by the time it rips all the way up, you'd be at 25K easily.
I mean, I fumbled on that. Man, it's upsetting seeing big opportunities pass by. But like I told you guys, we went up a lot during COVID, and people missed out on that. But then we dropped a lot during the war. So if you missed the up, you could have played the down, and then it shot right back up. So the market has cycles up and down, and when you can position for some nice swings and put time on it, that's how you make a lot of money. A lot. You know, there's a trader called Aristotle. Some of y'all probably know him, but he was able to position in some leaps. And I don't follow him, but I saw like a month ago or something. He made, great profits. Great profits. He bought like 2-year contracts. He got money so he can buy 2-year contracts. But
I think he only spent $2,000 on that contract, and I think it's at like 200K.
shit's crazy, man. That's what I'm trying to do. Long swings.
I don't think it's too late if you can find like a really good company that's going to withstand like a lot of stuff. I think 2026 is when we get a little bit before that, just because that's when the bonds are going to change in the economy. We got to pay back our debt.
Super micro CEOs.
That's also why you don't see any contracts past 2026.
Yeah, the SMCI CEO is saying some bullish stuff. Y'all don't even know what the CEO of NVIDIA said. It was so bullish. It was as bullish as it could get, man. It reiterated my thesis. It made me feel more confident as well. Like, yeah, I don't even know how much money these companies are gonna make.
Here he said, can you tell me your key takeaways?
Yeah, give me a second. And this is off the top of my head, but I'll give you a rough draft. So basically, he reaffirmed that the AI revolution is real and is here to stay. Because you have some speculators. People on the news have been saying it's a bubble for a year. Some people aren't believers, but we all know it's the digital age and it's real. He basically reaffirmed that. He reaffirmed that they are the leader and they have the products and they partnership. He reaffirmed all the little data points that people wanted to know. All that important stuff. When investors hear that, and then they see that they 4x is crazy. Think about that. these companies are making billions. They only made like I think 900 million or something last quarter and 4x'd it from there. That's insane. Insane. So people are like, okay, if they could do that again, this stock is cheap because it's going to keep growing. If it's going to keep growing year after year, it's cheap. Cheap. Going up.
I'm mad bullish on all chip stocks.
Mm-hmm. I'm a big bull. I'm a big bull. I told y'all the market was going to go crazy election year.
And this month is usually a bad month for stocks.
Wow. If you go to Robinhood and look at NVIDIA, go hit the max. It just hit 100,000% return. What's Microsoft's? Microsoft's max, damn. Microsoft's max is only 744%. NVIDIA, just the shares went up 100,000%. That's crazy. I was getting my tattoo done today, and the guy doing it, I was telling him about options because I was like looking at some plays, and he's like, "Yeah, I'm not into the options. You know, my family set me up. My uncle works at Merrill Lynch and does my account." You know, he was kind of a little standoffish, but you got to get invested, man. Wait till the younger generation finds out because there's so much more money to come in. So we're going to be the older people and we're going to know everything because we were in the game young. Like, imagine how much we're going to know in 10 years. And then the younger kids in middle school and high school, once they start investing, like, that's why this thing's going to go up.
Bro,
Like,
my daughter is 10 years old, and she's asking me to teach her how to trade.
All right. I'm going to tell you guys something I'm thinking about.
Do you have a custodial account for her?
Who, me? No, I'm actually going to start one soon.
Yeah, that's a big benefit.
Should I tell them what we were talking about the classes for young people and get their opinions on it?
Doesn't hurt.
Okay, so tell me what you guys think about this. Like, this is like revolutionary, some big shit, you know? Okay. I like education and I like teaching people. And young kids, me and PK Flight were talking. Think about this. They teach us in school. They teach us about Romeo and Juliet, Greek mythology. We do not need to know that. They teach us fake stuff. What kids need to learn about, they need to learn about investing. They need to learn about real estate. They need to learn about taxes, the things that are important. So my idea was during this, we pitched to parents, hey, we have these classes. It's X amount. We're going to teach your kids about X, Y, Z. And we're going to show them proof, you know, that the concept works. And the parents are going to kind of know what we're talking about because they're adults. They have 401ks. Some of them are investors. And I feel like there's going to be a large majority of the population that want their kids to actually be educated. So the parents will invest in their kids and buy our classes. So my idea is during the week, you know, in the summer, have X amount of classes, the parents pay for it, and we teach their kids. We're providing a bunch of value, and, you know, I feel like the parents would want that. So I feel like it's a good business, you know, it'll make money. We're helping people. And then what happens is, once it gets big, you can branch out to different cities, and then we'll get partnerships with colleges. And then once we're locked in with like schools and stuff, I feel like something like that could blow. I feel like that's needed. They're not teaching anybody anything important in school. So we can bring value during the summer. It also keeps kids out of trouble. You know, when I was in summer, I was smoking weed, like just doing stupid shit. But if you care about your kid, you're going to put them in this class so they get smart. So, you know, I just have ideas like that. You know, I think that shit could turn into a multi-million-dollar business. You know, if it starts popping off, we doing classes all over the country. Yeah,
Bro,
man.
just think about how wealthier Americans would be if they knew to open a custodial account for their children right when they were born and just put in $5 a week, really, because it's just gonna grow as they get older. Like,
I'm doing rough math, okay? I've talked to a lot of people, and most people aren't interested in trading, or they actually don't know like what shares are. I'd say maybe 10% or 15% of all adults or adults like even know what a 401k is or how to buy stocks. This this whole revolution just started. So to piggyback off what PK Flight said, that's why I'm bullish long term on the market. Like unless something catastrophic happens, there's so much more people to teach and tell about that if 20% of them knew, like that's so much more money in the market. That's why I be telling y'all we need to all get in, we need more volume. There's so many people to tell. I'm sure you guys have talked to your friends and at least like 10 of them were like, no, I'm good. And you're kind of by yourself and you're like, all right, I'm trying to tell you. But if they listen to you, all of you guys that's listening, like we would have 100 more people right there. But some people just don't understand, man. But that's why I like you guys because you're like-minded like me. So
Yeah, even today.
and if
I,
a bad event has that, having dry powder all the time readily available will make you that next, millionaire because that COVID drop, the war drop, it always goes right back up. So that's the best time to go long on calls. Like it don't matter. Like you gotta have extra money for that. So like if all your monies are in stocks and trades right now, what if China nuked something tomorrow and everything had a 20% pullback? If you could buy that pullback, you would be great. So just having dry powder available all the time.
yeah, so like a parent like you, Hamster, like I'm sure you value education. You're educated. Like you would be my target market. Like I'm not discriminating or talking shit. I got family in the hood, but we're not gonna go to the hood and pitch this. We're gonna go to people that live a decent life, middle class. It doesn't matter where, but obviously there's a target market for people that can afford summer classes and that actually care about education. But I feel like, man, I'm just thinking about some crazy stuff, but I know we could do that.
I've got an idea for you offline.
Yeah, man, like keep spreading the word. Like y'all know what's possible with this, so don't stop telling people, you know, everywhere I go, when I go out to eat, when I go to one of my brother's football games, when I get tattooed, man, I teach. I just talk about it.
Yo,
It's
can I?
crazy how these
Can I
people
say
are.
something real quick? Yo,
Yes,
that's
sir.
crazy that you said that about the classes thing because I'm Indian, right? And my parents, they were immigrants to this country. So, they enrolled me and my English was bad. This was in 2007, so 17 years ago. So my English was really bad, so they enrolled me in like an English learning class and they also taught math there. It's called Kumon. It's pretty popular. But popular on the west side at least in California, Oregon, Washington. Those are the states where I've lived, right? So yeah, they teach math and stuff, and that's how I like grew up, like liking math. Getting really good at English. Stuff like that. It like you got to instill the interest early on because as a kid, you're like a sponge. Like anything you throw at a kid, like they're gonna learn like really fast. Like whatever they hear, like whatever is like surrounding them, that's what they're gonna pick up on, right? So you gotta like yeah, like start really early and always teach them about money because some people are like, oh no, he's just a kid, he doesn't need to learn all that now, that's for adults. Like if you do that, then he's gonna become like an irresponsible adult. You know what I'm saying? So like my idea was literally like I want to start because I felt the same way as okay about things like being taught in school because I'm an assistant for my professor and we talk about this a lot like stuff in high school they're not getting the proper education and I was talking to him
Not at
nothing dude
all. Not
like
at all.
history
Why has the system been the same?
Because
for
they
so
want to
long?
keep us dumb,
Why?
bro.
Why?
That's what it is.
Yeah, I know that.
They need to.
Oh,
They need warehouse workers. They need
yeah,
people in middle class.
100%, I believe that. It's like it's a
bro.
huge fucking scam. Sorry for the language, but it's a huge scam. I feel like, like you're right. I did not need to fucking read my bad. I did not need to read Macbeth in 10th grade. I did not need to read Romeo and Juliet in ninth grade. It's never changed. You know what I'm saying?
Oh my God. Me and PK Flight were talking about that, and I got mad. I was like, wow, we're learning about fake stuff in school? You got to be kidding me.
Literally, dude.
Why?
Yeah.
There has to be an alternative. Like, why are we sending our kids to school to learn about Greek mythology and Romeo and Juliet? I used to sit in the class, I'm like, I'm not going to pay attention to this.
I didn't.
Like, what? I liked history. Like, I like real stuff. So I liked history. I like science. I don't want to know about Romeo and Juliet, bro. Come on.
Yeah, dude.
Like we need to.
I mean, it's annoying. Freaking Frankenstein, Huckleberry Finn, Macbeth, Odyssey, like all that, dude. I didn't even care about, I was a good student. I was a straight A student in high school, but I hated everything that I did, almost everything that I did in high school, And I just got even madder when I stepped into college and there's actual smart people, because only a small percent make it to college, you know what I'm saying? And they know,
Okay.
they know the real shit.
Gent LLC, okay. In the chat, you just said, "Teach me, I'll teach the hood." Okay, now think about this. I have cousins that live in the hood and they got drug money or whatever. It doesn't matter. But imagine the dope boys if they knew that they could put some of their thousands of dollars into stocks and make money, but they just all keep it cash. Imagine we could tell all of those people, there's so much more money. There's so much more people that need to know. Okay, you like drugs, you like the hood, you like selling dope. That's fine. But come on, put some money in some stocks. You could do both, but some people are so stuck on one thing. Anybody can do this. If you guys know Wall Street Trapper, he's a black influencer, investor and stuff. He's putting a lot of, hood people on game, and that's what I want to do. I like talking to older people, younger people, black, white, Chinese. I know people in England, Dubai, California. We can all do this. We need to tell everybody. Don't stop. Don't stop.
You just
teach the hood, bro. Teach all your friends.
I'd be literally screaming at them every single day, bro, go look at some charts, learn the basics. And they're all like, oh, but I'm too busy with school. One of my friends, he's that I went to high school with, he's a computer science major, and he's like, bro, I have no time. I can't wake up at 6:30 to do that and then go to class. I'm like, bruh, I do it. I wake up at 6:30 every day. I'm awake for.
I'm gonna tell you the hard thing. So it's hard for somebody to do something new if they don't really know the reward.
Yeah, 100%.
So you kind of gotta experience it, and you gotta actually want to try a little bit. I have friends, and I'm like, hey, bro, I'm right here. I can help you, but you still need to put in a little bit of work. And then they never put in any work, and they're still in the same spot. And you got me as a friend. You've known me for so long, and you still don't know what you're doing?
That is just, yeah, bro. No, that's just all on him at that point. Yeah. I wish I had a friend like you. I had to, figure most of it out by myself, Because I wasn't interested in, Discord groups for a little bit until, I started learning. So, because sometimes I join, very early on, and then I wouldn't understand, anything that they're saying. All the terminology, support key levels, earnings, this, that, all that. It was confusing. So, I would, stayed away from it until, a certain point. But I wish I had someone. You can learn all that in a flash, but there's just so much misinformation,
Yeah.
Your
mic, Sophia.
I wish there was more people on here. Like, for the people that are listening, like, you guys know how I am by now, but I know some people sign up for Discords and they literally want just straight signals. Signals. That's all. And if that's what you want, like, I'm probably not gonna give you like 3-day trades every day, and we're gonna be trading. But like, I bring a lot more to the table than that. I'm somebody that you can come ask a question to. I'm somebody that's gonna keep you informed on where the market's going, and I'm gonna give you plays. So I know
Those are the words when they're giving out direct signals. Like, I've been in stuff, and like they always go down. They might be good for like a day or two, but I feel like those are like pump and dumps.
But yeah, long story short, I know I do things a little bit different. I don't like spam just direct signals all day. New people that join, I'm like, give me a month, because after a month you'll see how I do things, and like you'll just read something nice, and you'll see. But I just wanted to touch on that. Like, if you didn't like that I didn't call like 3-day trades every day, and you like just day trading all day, you could hop in another server and just keep mine for swing trades. But just for the newer people, you're gonna just have consistency out of me. You're always gonna know where the market's going. We're always gonna catch big days. We don't miss no big days. That's really important. Yeah, man. Some people join and they're like, where's the signals? Like, they'd be so confused. I post them all the time. You just gotta give it like a week. This dude joined a month ago, and he was like hitting me up every day. He's like, bro, where's the signals? I said, did you get in? I'm calling the swing trades. He never took any of them.
That's another thing, because it's harder for people who are like new, because they're really new. They don't know how to like navigate through like choosing that calls, like boom, like, bro, you alert a signal, right? Like, I'm walking to class, like it's usually at 12:50. I have class at 1, right? So I'm like walking to class, and I'm like filling my order, as I'm going in. So like, it's just they just haven't put in enough work yet. You know what I'm saying? And they just want rewards like fast.
Yeah, and that's why I made that new members read channel, and I just post a bunch of little things in there, so you guys know I call my things 10 minutes before close. So just before close, if you're looking for a swing trade, you open up the Discord and you just wait till I post something. Just keep those alerts on. We always getting in plays. This week was a short week, but I only called like 5 things. Obviously, I helped in between, but it's all about your wins. You know what I'm saying? It was a light week, but the things I got in made profits. That's most important. For the people that are listening, just to reiterate, if you ever need help with anything, I don't bite. Like, hit me up. If you're struggling, you can DM me. We can talk. If you have a question during the day, just reach out to me. I know this shit's confusing and hard sometimes. But
just got to put in those repetitions. That's it. I'm doing the same thing over and over again. You just got to make it boring,
It's crazy how fast 2 hours goes by.
I got a question.
Who's this?
So, PK, like, so you know how you got 100 shares of something you could sell, like a call or a put, you collect premium?
Mm-hmm.
What about a put? Can you sell a put?
So, we went over this last week, but when you sell a call, you need to have 100 shares of the stock that you're selling a call on. When you sell a put, you need to have the collateral to buy 100 shares if it gets exercised. So if you go to like Tesla and you try to sell one of the puts, you're going to have to put up collateral. If it's the 190 put, 190 times 100, you're going to have to put that collateral up front, and they hold it until expiration. If it exercises, they take your money and you buy the shares. If it doesn't exercise, you get your collateral back, but you're still getting paid up front. So selling a put, You don't sell puts on stocks you're not comfortable buying, because there's some cases if you do it wrong, you're gonna have to buy it. So, you never sell puts on something you wouldn't want to buy.
X. I'm about to start doing that on the ones I want to buy.
Exactly, and it's another way to generate income. So once you're good at reading charts, just say like Apple hits 180, right? And you sell a cash secured put for a week, and Apple's not gonna go below 180, that's basically free money. Free money for nothing. You're using your extra buying power you're doing nothing with, and you're making money with it. So I told you it's for people that have like a lot of cash on the side. There's always ways to make money.
Yeah, and if you want to buy the stock, you can get it for the low, right?
Yeah.
I guess depending on which one you sell.
Yeah, it depends on which one you sell. You definitely don't want to sell a put at the highs, because say you get exercised on an Apple at 200, you're buying at the top. You typically, people sell puts. Think about selling calls is a ceiling, and selling puts is a floor. So when a stock gets to your buy zone, then that's when you could start on puts if you're comfortable buying it. Or you could just be like, it's not going to exercise, I'm buying at support, and then just making money. Charles 170. Yo, what if they take the SPX to 6,000 end of year? Oof. What's up, Super Luigi? What'd you play today? You a bull? I'm trying to hit a nice day trade tomorrow.
Oh, yo, you're gonna be on voice in the morning, right?
I can be.
Alright. Hey, if you want him to be on voice, say type 1 in chat.
Yeah, and I'm just going back and I'm reading what you put in the chat. The system is set up for workers, but, life is about roles, whether it's a relationship with somebody, or friendship, or working. Like, you got to play your role. Some people are comfortable playing their role, but, I got to a point to where I was tired. I was tired. I used to work 6 a.m. to 6 p.m., but then I would have to drive 30 minutes to get there and drive 30 minutes home. Like, being out for 13 hours for what I was getting paid, it wasn't worth my time. Like, I just got sick and tired of it, so I knew I had to learn something new. Man, life is short. I can't work till I'm 65, bro. I just can't.
100%.
Not for somebody else. For myself, yeah. A business, but...
Oh, wait, how old are you right now?
Take a guess.
26?
That's funny.
Wait, you're...
Let me get another guess. Somebody guess my age.
19.
19.
$20.
Ooh, there you go, D. How'd you know I was 31?
Wait, you're 31?
Bro, people be thinking I'm young.
Bro, you do not look 31. You're 7 years older than me. That dude. Yeah. Oh my god. I thought we were the same age. I thought you were like 25, 26, bro.
I went to go pick up the food the other day, and these kids look mad young. They're in high school, and I was like, guess how old I am? Buddy said 19. I almost dropped on the floor. I'm like, bro, you think I'm 19? Because I'm 31. So 19, that was ages ago. Like, what?
Dude, bro, I be seeing like your, like your mirror photos and shit. Like, I thought you were like my age. So I was like, yo, what's up, bro? But like, damn, I was not expecting that.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest with you, I'm not tooting my own horn or anything, but if there was a 20, 21-year-old talking like I am, you better respect that person because they must have been grinding
100%,
like crazy
100%.
to be that intelligent. So
Yeah.
if you're young and you're on point, like that's a lot of respect because believe me, I wish I knew what I knew now when I was 19, 20. That's why I love when younger people hit me
Damn.
up. And even older people. Doesn't matter. Like,
Damn. I'm 24.
Because you got parents knowing this stuff, teaching their kids, buying them stocks for Christmas.
I've done one-on-ones with 18 and 19-year-olds, and I told them, like, y'all are off to an amazing start. If you're learning about investing and you care when you're 18 or 19, I think about life in sections. So if you learn when you're 18 or 19, by 30, you should be good. Like, your long-term portfolio should be good. You might learn how to trade good. You can make money off that. Like, so any young folks in here, if you're listening, y'all on the right track for real. Believe me, I did not learn about buying stocks until I was like 23, 24. Okay. So I could have been in the game. You know what I'm saying? It's never too late, though. That's the beauty. I don't care how young they are. If a 14-year-old wants to do a one-on-one, I'll teach them. It doesn't matter. You know, any age can learn. So if you got somebody that's interested, bring them through. Or tell them to hit me up.
Yeah, that's crazy. I've been teaching my girlfriend little by little, like how to look at support, how to look at resistance, like what the candles are. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, she's getting it.
I'm gonna be honest with you. Some girls are just not interested.
Yeah.
Some are.
The thing is, like, she's been poor, you know what I'm saying? And sometimes, like, so she's a cashier now. Obviously, I'm in school. I've said that before. But she's a cashier at, like, a local grocery store. And she's like, oh, yeah, she makes $16.28 because Washington, she makes minimum wage for Washington, so it's $16.28. And for 8 hours, it's like, I did the math, and it was like $140 or something. And some days I'd wake up at 6:30, you know what I'm saying? I'd catch like a quick swing trade and I'd make like, you know, 150, $160. Nothing crazy, but I'd be like, "Oh yeah." She'd be like, "How much money you make?" I'd be like, 150. You're like, "What? You made what I make in 8 hours in like 45 minutes and then you're back to sleep?" What? You know? So she's been like really wanting to like learn now because she sees like what can be done, you know? I feel like it goes back to what you said. Yeah. You just got to see the reward to take the risk.
Sometimes it baffles me. So I have a friend, right? We're just friends on video games and play video games together. She's like 23 and she was looking for a new job and she had to move towns because where she lived, she couldn't find any job that paid good. So she knows what I do. She sees what I post. And in my head, I'm like, okay, you don't have much money. You can't find a good paying job. But what if you saved up $400 and hit me up and said, hey, can you help me flip this? But you don't ever ask me that. Like, why wouldn't you ask
people
me that?
Don't understand, bro. Like, it's, yeah. You.
Like, why are you going to go to your job and go make like $100 a day if you could hit somebody up that could probably help you flip 400 into 5K?
Yeah. Like,
I mean,
yeah, that's another thing people don't understand is like in school, right? Like alumni, like you know, they're really eager to like help like people or help students, young kids, like, you know, because they've been in that situation and they love what they do, like in a certain field, right? For example, like I'm into engineering, so like engineers who went to the same school as me, they want to help you so bad, you know, like all you got to do is like send them an email. You've never like you don't even have to know their like what they look like or know their name, right? As long as you have their email and be like, yo, I'm a student here, like I need help with this, they will help you. It's like the same way, you know, people who love what they do, they want to like teach you how to do it, but people are just lazy. Like they don't want to take that step to like go and ask someone, you know, they just want to do like what they're comfortable with. I feel like, you know.
And they don't stick with it.
It's everywhere. It's not just schooling. Like someone who loves what they're doing, they want to teach it to the other person. You just got to go up and ask them, and they're not gonna like stop talking. You know, they're just gonna keep on going because they're just so passionate about it. You know.
And like what's really important in life, and it took me kind of a long time to learn this, but it's really important, and your ears are more important than your mouth. You should listen more than you talk, because you know you can learn a lot just by listening. So I don't think I everything in the world, and I love looking at other traders or anything, so I can learn more. You know, there's always so much to learn, and if I ever need help with something, I always outsource, and I get somebody that's an expert in that field to help me. You know, so you got to network, you got to work with a team. Sometimes somebody would be better than something, and they could elevate you. So that's my theory on life. Like, meta. I'll be up late at night looking at stuff. I know some of you guys be asking me at like 6, 7, but this is my prime time. But
oh, it's 11:30 for you. It's only 8:30 for me.
It's early. I'm different. I be up early. I stay up late. I'm gonna be watching Meta tomorrow, man. I mean, if we're bullish, remember last week when it popped like 8 in a straight line? Meta could go to 500. Those 500 calls are cheap. Ooh, they're only $30, man. If we could catch
oh yeah, dude, that would be so nice. Yeah.
So I'll be watching Meta. If it starts moving, we could buy some 500 calls. They're cheap. What else did we talk about?
Walmart, Cat. That's a little bit before you came through, but we talked about that. What else?
Walmart has a pretty nice inside day setup. Yeah. I'm not gonna lie.
Walmart, Cat. That's all I remember. And then Meta. Wait, did we say Apple? No, we just mentioned it for something else.
I'll be up early. I'll be checking to see like what looks bullish, bearish. I'll check the news.
All right.
Does anybody else have any like questions or concerns? Let me know. We could do that one-on-one together, you and your son. You can like help him like ask questions, or like you can help guide him throughout the process or whatever. That must be the best feeling in the world, like being a parent and then like just coaching up your kids, and you're giving them some valuable information. They might not want to take it, but hey, all you
just got to surround them with the same thing over and over again, and they'll become it's like what they say, like kids are like the product of their environment. It's just all about the environment.
So like, okay, so you're in
college,
this
right? Is my I'm getting my second degree now. I'm gonna start my master's next September.
So like on a weekly or daily basis, like friends or people you pass by, dude, like do you think you encounter like hundreds of people a day, a week?
Like thousands, yeah.
So what percentage of those people do you think trade or
honestly
invest?
Man, I think it's a very small amount. You know what I'm saying? Like probably 100%, less than 10%. Yeah.
Because we need to flood the colleges, because I know those kids don't give two shits. I didn't either, but man, like, if you told the people in the colleges, man, I know they don't be having money. I'm not trying to be funny, but college kids are usually broke. So
No, but at least like for
man,
my university, they're all like, all the parents are pretty rich, but the kids still do have loans, but their parents do help them out with like rent and stuff, if they're living off campus. But the thing is, like the people who would be most interested in trading, I feel like, is all from like the STEM departments, right? And the STEM departments are the smallest in my university by like a
can you please give me context of what STEM
Oh,
department means?
STEM is
'Cause I don't
like, yeah,
understand.
science, tech, engineering, math, uh yeah, those. All
Okay.
those. Like so chem, bio, uh freaking what else do we have? Physics, math, all the computer science, computer engineering, all that. Like the students that make up all that is like 2 to 3,000 kids maybe, right? And then everything else is like 16. You know what I'm saying? So like the kids and those people are like elementary education, like freaking business, like degrees that usually get, like clowned on, you know what I'm saying? Like gender studies, art,
Yeah.
that also makes up like a good percentage. And dude, they're dude, I don't even want to talk about them because they're just annoying, bro. Like,
Well,
yeah,
my point is that there's not a lot of people like you, and you encounter so many people. So like,
yeah,
I don't know, like, or what you could do or how you could market, or just bring it up in
yeah.
conversations. But
I
you need to put some
I
time.
try to all the time, bro. There's like people sitting around me, right? And I'll just be like looking at charts, see like I'd be getting into your trades like in class. I'd have Weeble pulled up with all my charts, and they're like, "Oh my god, that looks so complicated," and I'll be like, doing it. And it's like it's really this easy, right? But they're all like, I can't see myself doing that. There was this one girl, her name's Marilena. She was like, "Oh yeah, I can't see myself doing that. I don't know how you do that. Like, it just seems, I don't know, like just, you know, I don't know, hand wavy about it. But there's like,
Everything is foreign
yeah,
in the beginning until you do a little bit of research. But I'm telling you, once people, this is when I thought about shit different. So I made X amount every 2 weeks at
mm-hmm.
my job, right? The first time I made my work paycheck in a day, that's when I started thinking about shit different. And then when I hit a day where I made 2 months pay in one day, I was like, wait, hold up. I'm waking up at 6 and coming home at 7, and I'm making like a couple hundred
Mm-hmm.
every day. You got kidding me. Like, so it's all about
100%.
perspective. Like once somebody hits their weekly paycheck, they're gonna be like, oh, hold up, what is this?
Exactly. But I think it's another thing that goes back, like, if you're not exposed to this when you're young, you have like this, concept about money, and you're just not willing to like risk anything and then like branch out and learn. So that just like gets to you when you're in college, when you're an adult, and you just don't think about that. And you just need that proper exposure. And it's just harder, like some things are just harder and harder to do and like instill upon someone the older that they get. You need to put in more work to get someone into something like when they're older compared to like when they're younger you know so it's just I don't know how to go about it like properly. So
Like one of my friends I used to work with, he had to get a second job. He had to get like a forklifting job, so he would work. He would wake up early and then go work all the way till like 11 or 12 forklifting, probably for a couple hundred. And he knew me. So like instead of slaving all day and probably making bare minimum, why don't you at least let me help you supplement some more income so you don't have to work a second job at night and be away from your family? Like, you gotta work smarter, not harder. So you're driving forklifts, you might be making 200 that night, but you could be with your family and press a button on your phone and
mm-hmm.
make that 200. Like, it's like, bro, you've been knowing what I've been doing for years. Why don't you try? But if you want to go work a second job, you gotta do what you want to do. It just baffles me. I'll be confused because the position I'm
Mm-hmm.
in. It's like, come on, bro.
Yeah.
You've known me for years. For years. Let me help. Let's put you in a play, man.
Like people in the Discord and people online who know about this stuff, they know, they see it. They're like, oh my god, like, even if it's clickbait, maybe they're like, oh my god, like 10K in a day. They're like, oh, okay, well, like something like this is possible, and then they come in and they see like real like real results, and they're like, oh damn, they understand. They're like, oh, I gotta learn this, but it's crazy.
You don't even want to know what I go through. Like, obviously I have friends in real life. And when I first started posting about this type of stuff on my main page, like 4 years ago, I had people hit me up, right? They were interested, but it never went anywhere. They'll just ask me and it doesn't go anywhere. And then 2 years later, they'll ask me again. And I'm like, hey, like, you asked me 2 years ago, and look how 2 years flew by. You could have learned so much. And then another year later, they're like, oh, wow. Like, bro, it's been 4 years. Do you, like, come on, man. It's crazy. Like, you don't want to know.
No, I get it.
That's why, like, I'm happy. And the people hit me up on Instagram. They're like, I've been watching for a month. I'm like, stop watching. Come through.
Hey, you're already, like, 50 times better than the other people I knew. You're here after a month. Let's go.
Keep turning up. Keep turning up.
But yeah. So you started trading seriously 4 years ago?
So I've been investing in stocks for like since I was like 24, 25, and then started trading options like 4 years ago.
Yeah. All right.
It takes a long time. Depending on how you start, you can accelerate the process. So I kind of started by myself. So it took me a lot of trial and error, but you can accelerate the process, with the right start.
Yeah.
But I tell you guys this a lot, but I am where I am now. Just, it took 4 years. What, 21, 22, 23. Yeah. 4 years.
Crazy.
Takes time. When you plant a tree doesn't get big the first year, but after 4 years, the tree gonna be big. People don't want to wait though.
So right at Rona, right when Rona hit, 2020.
Yeah, I believe I started in 2019, in the summer of 2019. I might be wrong. It was either 2020 summer or 2019 summer. It was one of them.
Yeah, 2019 summer was crazy. Like people who, there were people who like started loading puts and stuff. Cause wait, no, not in the summer. The Rona stuff started like in November of 2019. Never mind. Yeah.
Okay, so, all right. In 2020, I started summer 2020, and when COVID was happening, my long-term account was like
gone. Yeah.
Tanking. And I was looking at it, and I still didn't really. I knew about stocks, but I didn't really know about it. So when the stocks were dropping, I was like, "Oh shit! Like I'm losing hella money." But long story short, if I would have knew, like, damn, you gotta buy this dip, I would have bought a bunch of shit at the lows, but I just didn't know. And then the crazy thing is, I lost a lot of money in those 2 months, but 4 months later, I recovered it all. So that's why you don't panic sell at the bottom. That's why you buy at the bottom. You know what I'm saying? I wish I knew that, bro. Like, so many stocks were on discount. Like, that's how you make big money right there, buying those dips. It sucks because those are the best opportunities. It's gonna be a little while. We're gonna have to wait.
Yeah, I'm also like similar to what you did. Like 2020 when I started investing, like fresh when I was 20 years old. So I knew about like stocks and options and all that, but I never like bought an option really. But I never made an option play up until like last year. And it was QQQs. And, I don't know what I did, but yeah, I just, I was looking at it and I was like, oh, it's really low right now. And I bought it. And, like I was so excited because I've never made money that fast. Like a couple minutes later, I think 20 minutes later, was that like plus 500. I was like, what the hell? 500? And I only spent like $200, $300. And I was like, holy shit, that's crazy. So that's when I really got into options. But yeah.
That's to give you my story. Something similar happened to me. So I had a long-term account, right? It wasn't huge. So like when the market was really green, there were days I would be up like 500 or 1,000, and I would be happy, but I was like, damn, I could make more. So I bought an option. I think it was on Walmart or Microsoft. Microsoft was like my second one. I made 1,000 overnight, and I was like, hold up. I got all these stocks, and on a big green day, I'm up 500, but I could buy a contract
Yeah.
and make 500 off
Mhm.
off of one. And once my brain saw that, I put my foot on the gas and I didn't stop. Like all you gotta do is show me that something is lucrative or good, and I'm all
100%.
in. Like you could be the leader, I'll be right next to you if you know what you're doing. And then I used to beg my friend to like teach me, and he showed me a little bit. He didn't want to tell me everything, so I had to kind of go on
Mhm.
YouTube and shit. But
That
yeah,
was the same thing. Like I went on YouTube, I was like, options, what is that? And I was like, oh, okay, so you have control over 100 things, and you can buy or sell before a certain date. And it's crazy. You have like, you see what the profits could be if you had like 100 shares of that. And I was like, oh, okay. But I didn't understand how much, because it was just all like learning. And they talked about like theta, delta, and all that, gamma, and then, you know, and I did it, and I was like, oh my god, $500. And like I woke up, I was at my parents' house. It was in the summer. I was at my parents' house, and then in the morning I woke up at 6:30, and I was like watching it, and I was like, oh, it's tanking pretty bad. So okay, and it's like, okay, this feels like the bottom now, because it's been like going sideways a little bit. So I bought like a call option for the next one, and I like, and it was crazy. So yeah, similar,
yep. I bought one
same.
Microsoft call, and it was I made $1,000. I was like, yo, what the fuck? You can make $1,000 overnight. And then I used to be reckless. Like when Amazon was expensive, I didn't really know what I was doing. But what I would do is I would buy a call and I wouldn't look at it all day. Like I would be scared because I was putting up a lot and I didn't know
Yeah.
what I was doing. And I would just track it like every hour on Yahoo Finance, and I'm like, oh, shit is going up. So there were some days where I held all day and I caught like 100-point move on
Crazy.
Amazon, because I don't know if y'all know, but Amazon used to go up 100.
No, I wasn't. No.
So I hit a couple of 10K
Crazy.
days like that. No clue what I was doing. I was just holding. Shit's funny.
But yeah, you just got to start young. The younger you start, the more rewards you're going to reap at the same age.
So when you put this on YouTube, it's going to be like 2.5 hours.
Probably, because we've just been straight up talking like a podcast, you know what I'm saying? So if there's like anyone in the chat that wants to like watch, they can put it on, put it on YouTube and just listen, because I just have like all of our little boxes recording. I can add some music in the background if you want me to,
You can do what you want.
But something like lo-fi or something, so it's not just like, our voices. So little entertainment. But yeah, it's gonna take like a couple hours to render, so this video probably might be out up until like 6 in the morning tomorrow.
YouTube doesn't. The YouTube algorithm messes up when you're like cursing.
Oh yeah. But I don't think it's too bad as long as you just say that it's like for mature audiences, so it doesn't reach like the underage kids' thing and get like messed up. But as long as it's like all that set up right, it'll show up. It showed up for me on my other page, on my like personal channel, so it's doing its thing. But yeah, we just need to upload more.
blow. This is sad, but I'm just responding to what he just posted in the chat, and most people blow accounts. It's just reality because most people don't. It's hard trading, and you could start out great. I started out great, but I lost it all. It's just the reality. So, it's happened to me. I blew many accounts, believe me. So that's why, like, at this point, I'm trying to stay as disciplined as possible. When I make money, I take profits out. Even if I have 20,000 buying power, unless it's SMCI, I'm not putting 10,000 on these trades. So long term, sometimes you blow shit up. Many people have hit me up. I've blown 3 portfolios. I'm like, well, you finally joined the right place because you need to learn.
100%.
Slow grind. Moderna and Crowd was my hit in COVID baggers. This one I knew I had to learn more.
I'm just sad that I didn't do any of that, learn about it, or I didn't have any exposure to it at all. I just knew about the stock market, but people just bought so many puts, and everything just kept falling, like airlines and shit, like all that, and they just made hundreds of thousands of dollars on the way down. It's crazy.
Well, that's that's why I like trading, and that's why I look at the market every day, because there's usually always big opportunities. So like this year, the opportunity has been the AMD, the Nvidia, and the SMCI rip. You could have just made tons of money. And then during COVID, if you knew oh shit, the market's gonna be down for weeks because of this, and you bought puts, you could have made a killing. So when the opportunities present themselves, it's just about being aware and then executing. And when you can catch those big moves, those help out a lot.
What is this?
A lot.
These are reports. Numerous pharmacies across the United States is reporting outages in the wake.
I don't like this shit. I mean,
in the wake of cyber.
Okay, listen to me.
Someone posted it.
What's the name of the movie that was on Netflix?
Oh yeah, Stupid Money.
No. The movie on Netflix where the Teslas start crashing into each other. And,
world end of the world thing where we get attacked by China or whatever, or Russia, right? That one.
Okay, do you guys know who produced that movie?
Oh, I got no clue.
Okay.
Excuse me.
Michelle Obama and Barack Obama produced that movie.
Are you kidding?
So when you think about it, you're like, damn, why is the ex-president pushing this kind of content?
Mm-hmm.
That's funny, right? And then I follow some YouTube accounts, and they said, I wrote this in the chat earlier, the next war, it's not going to be a regular war. It's going to be cyber war. It's going to be China and Russia on the computers over there and hacking us. If our internet, I'm not fear-mongering, I'm not a conspiracy theorist, but that shit's fucking scary. I got on my phone for 24 hours 2 weeks ago. I almost died, bro, because I couldn't talk to nobody. I couldn't do anything. And they said I was going to have to wait a month. I'm like, I can't live. She was on the phone hearing me, so sad for 2 hours, but they're attacking pharmacies. So this morning, the fucking power goes out on AT&T, and then now at 4 o'clock, reports came out that pharmacies are going out. I just hope no shit like that doesn't happen, bro. Somebody else said that the next thing that can happen is they attack the power grid.
That'd be messed up.
It happened in New York and New Jersey when I was 10, and I was confused. All the power went out. Man, I don't even want to think about that happening, but man, yeah, bro. I hope no shit like that happens. We need to tighten up. That's scary. That is scary, bro. Those are gonna be the end days. They probably have huge buildings in China with 5,000 people just on computers trying to hack everything.
You know there already is.
Hackers. Digital warfare.
Hup.
DM me if you want to learn more. Learn more about what? What do you know?
Oh, I didn't even see that.
When you ask, what do I think about AI bots? Like, what do you mean by AI bots? Because, like, we have AI bots in the chat.
Wait, we do?
I mean, the bots that we're sending codes to and they're pushing something else.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a bot. I don't know if he's talking about, like, chat bots you talk to.
AI bots that trade.
You know.
I kind of was wondering, how would you like see? I think that it's possible to see like kind of like you'd watch the order flow for a stock. How do you watch the order flow for an option? Is that possible to like watch like big orders coming in?
I think some brokerages have that. Yeah.
So, like black box stocks, I think it's called black box, but you have companies that sell you that data. Like you see options flow. That's what options flow is. But you see it in real time. You got to pay for it. But yeah, they have that. You got to pay for it.
Like hedge funds and stuff have it. Wall Street, of course they do. They got everything. But yeah.
Sometimes I mean, they got to be getting their data from somewhere, and it should be like public information, right? You know, so maybe that's just you just got to have like level 2 on one of the things, and then it's and they just kind of run their scans and their filters from there. But it's all like it would be public data, right?
Yeah.
Or like accessible somewhere to us.
All sales and stuff is like public. Through the SEC or whatever, it's like a law, right, that they have. So you just got to.
But some things aren't. Like the world, the way it's set up is fucked up. But you ever heard of dark pool orders? Okay, so we can't see those. You can't see dark pools, so those are like huge millions and billions, like so they get to hide because they're big money. And they're tied in with the government, so they can hide.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
And nobody really knows. So some stuff you can't see. Not everything's out there. Believe me, if they're not gonna tell us everything.
Got to read between the lines. The market makers. Yeah, that's what he said. Yeah, that's what he said. But yeah.
But that's why it is pretty cool to have some of those, like a black box stocks, because when you do see like millions of flow come in. It usually has an influence because other people are looking at that. So when other people, just imagine 20,000 people saw a $10 million call order come in. So then everybody else jumps on, and then that's what pushes the price up. So it's a little tool to have.
What's that other really popular thing is it like a screener or like an order flow thing? I forgot what it was. What website it is. Man, I don't know. I'll remember it later, and I might like say it in chat. I don't know. It's like it's like something like that to see like the orders come in and volume and a bunch of other like intricate stuff, like real time, like an intricate level type thing. I forgot what it is. It's like a paid thing that they have.
Yo, what the heck? Nvidia added 277 billion in value today, the greatest single day gain in stock market.
That's insane.
$277 billion in one day.
Damn.
Holy shit. I mean, I don't know if the person that asked me about Apple, because I found a perfect example. Was that DHO? Yeah. Okay. So I'm looking at this picture right here, and Q4 EPS growth year over year out of like all the main tech stocks, Apple's was the lowest. So like they're not really growing like they used to grow, but the ones on the top are AMD, Nvidia, Amazon, Meta. So if you go look at those stocks and you compare like Apple's chart, you see why those have kind of been booming more. It's just more good news. They're making more money.
It's like
faster
there's
and
only
stuff.
so much like you can pack into a phone, you know, like so much speed, you know, like until it gets to a point where it's like if I want this much power, I'm just gonna go like do it on a computer, you know. So you know, people haven't been buying their phones like every year like they used to. You know, their iPhones are like their best sellers, and there's not a whole lot of people buying their like pro machines, you know, like their $20,000 desktops and stuff like that. So that's why they're like branching out slowly into like, you know, like I heard something about them releasing a car next year or something like that, and their Apple Vision stuff, you know. So yeah, that's why they've been decreasing.
They lying about that car.
They've
They're talking about
they've
it,
been
but
talking about it for
yeah,
years.
it'll be next year. Yeah, that won't be for like
Yeah.
5-6 years.
So,
That shit would be. Yeah.
but yeah, and the only thing that they got is their their silicone chips, but you know, they don't like distribute to anyone. They just use it for themselves, and they release new MacBooks every year, but who's gonna buy a laptop every year? You know, there's only gonna be a small percentage. You know, nobody needs a new laptop every single year, so yeah, that's another reason.
Japan stock market hit an
Japan's?
all-time. I think that's like another reason. Yeah, Japan stock market has been booming. You can go look at the Nikkei. That's what it's called. NIKKIE.
Okay, yeah, I found it.
KPI.
Yeah, I'm looking on TradingView. Oh my god.
Yeah. Look, it's up 45% in a year. That's really good.
Damn, yeah, that's crazy.
But the thing is, it like it troughed for a long time, so it took a long time to get back to all-time highs. Not like us, like we've been steadily going up. But I think, you know, whenever you have good news like that, like I saw that news kind of first thing this morning, and that's just bullish too. So that could have been another reason why the market
that's
was
crazy,
happy today.
Wow. Oh, this is in wait, what's Japan's thing? Yen, right? No, is it yen? Oh,
The
yen
yen
is
is
China.
the China.
I don't know what Japan's is. It's crazy.
Wow, I didn't know today was the best day in the year. Holy shit. I could only imagine the people that have like hundreds of thousands or millions in stocks, like how much they made today. Oof,
Would have been
what a
crazy.
good feeling. Well, but good talking to you guys. Thanks for hanging around. Hope y'all learned something. But I'll holla at y'all
All right.
tomorrow.
See you guys tomorrow.
Peace out. See ya.
All right, guys, that was the end of that study session. Wow. 2.5 hours of just, you know, chatting about stocks, about, you know, other things. But, yeah, hope you guys enjoyed that video. Please leave a comment, like the video, you know, if you have any questions. But, yeah, this is what we do. This is what we do in this channel, you know. just talk and learn and, you know, share ideas and all that. So if you guys are a fan, you should subscribe to the channel so you guys don't miss out on these, you know, weekly uploads. And yeah, if you guys like it even more, try joining our Discord, you know, see how it goes. Give us a month, and yeah, we will ensure that you're successful. All right, thank you guys for watching, and peace out.